Maybe the collapse is actually imminent, guys, here very shortly. I mean, could it be? Why? Because from Wall Street Silver, oh dear, this is bad. Basically, inverse Kramer. Why? Because Jim Cramer literally just stated an economic wave is about to hit that will be fantastic for investors. Now, here, let me explain my opinion on what he's suggesting right here. Right now, a lot of people are talking about how obviously Jim Cramer is a contraindicator because Elon Musk did say that many years ago, right? Many years ago. Now, I know for a fact what Jim Cramer is trying to do, guys. I do believe good news is on the horizon for the not economy, but like the stock market and the cryptocurrency market, the markets in general, right? But the economy will be going to S, guys. That's 100%. We're going to see literally every S coin explode, every meme coin explode to the upside, guys, before what happens, the collapse takes place, right? Oh, one more thing I wanted to point out here, guys, is that in the next one-ish years or 2 years, nothing will make sense in the markets and the economy. Literally nothing. Everything will be flipped on its head, guys. Up will be down, down will be up, left will be right, and right will be left. Pay very close attention. And we know the collapse is coming soon. Recession confirmed. More like a Great Depression, guys, when it does take place, right? Now, it isn't a wave. So what is it, guys, right? A tsunami? What could it be? It's going to get really bad, guys, to the point that we know what happened with the Titanic. Possibly part 2 imminent. Why? From Mr. Poole. You guys have to remember, this could be called blood in itself, right? Trailing behind the ship, which is fascinating, right? So Mr. Poole warned us, basically as well, Jim Cramer's warning us, and who else warned us? BG-123, the Perseverance ship, guys, right, is about to hit that iceberg. Interesting. Again, the collapse will be so bad, guys, that it's going to make people's heads turn upside down, right? This isn't even a joke, guys. But he basically talks about in the article, maybe we really aren't that connected. Maybe we are basing our financial decisions on economic data that is wrong, and just because we're all using the same wrong information doesn't make it right. So, and then he goes on and talks about CPI and different metrics in the economy, guys, right? Now, my opinion is quite clear. We pump one day when Jim Cramer states the collapse is imminent of the full-blown financial system. That's how you know it's game over, because he's going to play that card, guys. I already know 100%. No, well, obviously not financial advice, and nothing is guaranteed. But from Stellar 17, the United States bank system will collapse on Monday the 15th, on 5/15, guys, which is tomorrow. Wait a minute, what? And the emergency solution will be activated after midnight on 5/16. This is an exact 1 year delta of the 2022 lunar eclipse. POTUS will be up all night. Pray. Oh, this is interesting. We got the total lunar eclipse happening tomorrow as well, guys, on the 15th to the 16th. Right? Wow. Fascinating connections, guys, and it goes more in depth right here. And how it talks about how the 15th is there's about to be a crash, right? Now, what is interesting is when we're talking about the banking system collapsing, guys, look what's happening in the other part of the world. Lebanon, according to reports, Lebanon's central bank refuses to release money to depositors, causing riots. Right? You can't make this stuff up, guys. What's happening here? Absolutely ridiculous, guys. Wow. This is ridiculous, right? We actually told you a long time ago what's really about to happen, guys. Brad Garlinghouse stated, if people go after the banks, right, the banks will retaliate and bring out their tanks, right? They will definitely get scared if people went after them, guys, which is what the foundation of the damn system you're governed by today, which is the damn banks, right? The central banks. This is happening over there, guys. The central bank refuses to release money to depositors, right? Meaning what? A freeze is happening. United States may freeze bank withdrawals as currency fear rises. Expert warns, guys, you can't make this stuff up. It's already happening over there, right? Is it about to happen in the United States next? You know what's really weird about this? Because the Riddlers warned us the dollar being frozen. Or the $100, guys, right? The $100 bill. Wait a minute, that's That's so weird, isn't it? People are talking about ICE 9 incoming soon. Let's check this article out, guys, because this is so fascinating. Now, an expert in economics is warning that the Biden administration may be looking at ways to lock down your checking account, literally ban withdrawals from the banking system. This is crazy, guys. Again, remove your, well, I wouldn't say, well, there is, what, 250K FDIC insured, guys, right? With the banks and stuff. So I wouldn't be too worried if you have under 250K, but if you have above that, guys, I don't know, right? I don't know. You probably should maybe think about removing that money. Putting it somewhere else. I don't know where, guys, but I'm into cryptos heavily, to say the least. The teams Biden, obviously not financial advice, but the teams Biden has installed in power in the federal government has already have moved to force you to buy an electric car, limited the kinds of appliances you could buy, censored the questions you can raise about fair elections, and much more, right? Now, the next step could be your bank account. Wow. According to this macroeconomics guru. Now, let's go down here. He said the moves away from the United States banking system, which recently has seen several major institutions fail, is justified. The report explained he basically states further decline in the M2 money supply, which is in part tracks money in liquid checking accounts, could convince the United States government to step in and prevent citizens from taking their capital out of the banking system. Guys, if you're not first, you're going to be last, possibly, right? Probably. Wow, this is a huge warning signal, guys. Warning sign. Sometimes it's kind of relevant to panic. I would recommend you panic. You have seen the biggest waterfall decline in M2 right now. M2 is deposits, not loans. That's the deposits fleeing the system and going into money market funds, he explained. That could reach a crescendo where the Treasury and the Fed may have to come in and actually restrict your right as a United States citizen to pull money out of the banking sector, guys. Wait, what?
Is so extreme. I mean, I'm sure on Bloomberg you must be pulling up the M2 series, yeah? And you've seen the biggest waterfall decline in M2, right? Now, what that means, that M2's deposits is not loans, right? But what that means is that's the deposits fleeing the system and going into money market funds, okay? When that could reach a crescendo where, like I say to you, the Treasury and the Fed may have to come in and actually restrict your right as a US citizen to pull money out of the US banking sector.
Well, Alex, we have seen kind of things like this happen before, as you mentioned, but here in Europe, they
Wow. Out of the United States banking sector, guys. He continued, there is a capital flight, deposit flight, flight from the banking sector seeking yield, right? I fear that. I don't say this slightly, but in 1934, the Federal Reserve Act confiscated gold from the United States citizens. Wow, gold. We're talking about gold, guys. We are at the point where the Fed and Treasury officials, I'm sure, are having to consider a lock on the United States bank deposits. Guys, this is scary, right, to say the least, because if you can't withdraw your money, then there's something wrong, definitely dangerous about the system, right? 100%, guys. That would mean the system is literally about to collapse and fail, right, at that point in time. And then he talks more about the system in itself, guys. He also suggested Bitcoin is something I could conceive as an asset class that could trade 3 or 4 times higher in the next 5 years. Bitcoin is fine right now, but during the collapse is gone. I'll believe so, guys, right? So I don't know. What are your thoughts about this stuff, guys, right? I do believe because look what's upcoming. The riddlers have stated a long time ago what's possibly incoming, guys. Let's prepare. Last but not least, from Unusual Whales, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that raising the debt ceiling would be a way to show other nations we are not a deadbeat country, right? If they don't raise it, they're going to collapse it here soon. In the next 2 weeks, guys, America will collapse if they don't raise the debt ceiling. Let's listen to this because it's very important, right? Be aware.
Further, so where do bondholders fit in? Just to game that out further, so where do bondholders fit in terms of the prioritization of who gets paid in a technical default? Do they get prioritized, or is it just about paying the bills as soon as the money comes in?
Well, you know, I would say that if Congress doesn't raise the debt ceiling, the president will have to make some decisions about what to do with the resources that we do have. And there are a variety of different options, but there are no good options. Every option is a bad option. And I really don't want to get into discussing them and ranking them because, as every Treasury Secretary has known, the only option that really leaves our economy in good shape is, and our financial system, is raising the debt ceiling and making clear that Congress stands behind the basic principle that America pays its bills. We're not a deadbeat country. Yeah. And if that's compromised, even in the run-up to it, if it looks like we're going to go up against the ceiling and may not get it done, that will have tremendously adverse effects on financial markets and the economy. So there just is no good option other than raising the debt ceiling.
You guys see, they're forced to raise it, guys, because if they don't, the collapse is imminent in the next 2 weeks. So it's quite clear, guys. In the next 1 to 2 years, I believe the collapse takes place. Not financial advice. I'll prepare right now, but I believe every asset out there will explode to the upside before the collapse occurs. Not financial advice. Be prepared. But anyways, that's so fast. Amazing in this. See ya.